Welcome to another week of Inside the Game with Notre Dame legend Chris Zorich. Chris, thanks for being here.
Absolutely, as always, I'm having fun.
Of course. Well, coming off last weekend, a tough loss for Notre Dame. What specifically went wrong in that game, and the big plays, why did they happen?
Oh my God. They had way too many big plays. I think Coach Freeman talked about there were 6 over with a combination of over 200 yards, 200 plus yards. That's something you cannot do, right? And so what's interesting is when you talk about big plays are 10 yards or more. Well, I don't think I can even count that high. There were like 20 plays of 10 or more. So that's really what happened, right? So it was interesting because what Marcus Freeman talked about was bad habits. And I think that's going to be interesting what they're going to address this week in practice, which they have, are bad habits.
Exactly, because we heard Marcus Freeman talk about execution. But Chris Ashley's in his first year as defensive coordinator. What issues are you seeing maybe with the scheme on that side of the football?
Well, it's really interesting. Everybody's talking about, well, let's fire Chris Ash and have Coach Freeman become the defensive coordinator. It's like, well, then who's going to be the head coach, right? Yeah. So that's really the crazy part, right? So this is what's happening during the week of practice. Marcus kind of eased over on the defensive side a little bit, but he's also easing over on the offensive side too. So this idea that, oh, well, Marcus is going to take over the defense is way out of line.
Okay, I mean, in your mind though, is there a scheme issue with this defense, or is it still just execution?
There's not necessarily a scheme issue. What's happening is they're putting in a lot more coverages, a lot more responsibilities. And so last year, people were just kind of attacking. Now they're kind of thinking and attacking. And what's happening is that 1 second of thinking is really causing the running back or receiver to kind of fly by him. So then that's what they need to do. Stop thinking, just react.
All right, well, I want to get to our question of the week because, Chris, a lot of people, I think, kind of agree with you. We asked them, what is Notre Dame's biggest issue? Right now, we're seeing a lot on the defensive side of the football. What do you think about when you see these numbers?
Well, as a defensive player, it's frustrating, right? I mean, but what you really kind of have to think about when you think about the defensive line, yes, 0. I think there's one sack.
Bubakar, yes.
But the idea of going into this game, you're supposed to have a ferocious defense. That's what we heard all in the offseason about how great their defensive line is. I think that's correct. Defensive play calling, I don't necessarily think that's the issue. The issue, again, is reacting instead of thinking.
And then let's go to the other side of the ball, on the offensive side. One big question coming into the year was C.J. Carr. He hasn't really been that much of a question. How have you seen him grown through these first 2 starts?
Well, it's crazy because now we're excited about it, right? He has a total of over 500 yards, and last game we thought he was like the worst quarterback ever, right? So now he's actually improving. He was close to 300 yards. This is something that we're excited about because he's so young. In the future, it's going to be exciting, but when you talk about the future, you're going to talk about Purdue and not the rest of the season.
And speaking of Purdue, prediction time. What do you think this weekend?
Oh, we're definitely going to dominate. Here's the thing. I'm excited about the score because what we're thinking about is obviously redemption, but what Purdue's thinking about is that they have a whole bunch of other ranked games. They're kind of hoping they can kind of squeeze by Notre Dame because they still have to play Indiana, Ohio State, and all these other games. They're going to be terrified. Notre Dame's going to dominate on both sides of the ball.
Life in the Big Ten is not too easy, especially nowadays.
Not at all. Not at all.
Well, Chris, thank you so much.
Got it.
Now,